Record audio as well. Normally when I was searching for my skeptics, I would give it to them on purpose so I can hear their crazy commentary all night long, which was always fun, and then I started getting bad reviews, so because I was pointing them out. That's why I don't ask who the skeptics are anymore. So, thermal imaging. You guys can all see me in that camera, correct? Yes? All right, so I am red, orange, and yellow, in my skin color at least, not the mask. So that means I'm the warmest thing inside the video. Everything around me should be some way blue or black, or maybe a darker red. So if you take me out of the video, it's going to fluctuate. So all of the things that were on the side of me that were all blue and black are now probably have some red, orange, and yellow mixed in with them. It's going to fluctuate based on how we move with this camera. The goal for this is that we actually want to try to keep a person in view at all times. And if something blue or black comes across my face and it's an intelligent movement, we obviously know we have something going on. So is this the most active tool I have? No, but it's probably the coolest. So when I do catch something with it, it is pretty amazing stuff. So Tyler, I think I'm going to go with you guys on this one. So you guys are going to be my temperature team?
No, that's you.
So you're going to hold that horizontal all night long. The red square on there means that it's recording. The circle means that it stopped recording. Tap it again, then you'll be the jerk, because then I got to splice some video together. It takes longer to get your data back. So
the person on ours didn't record.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
They recorded for like the first 30 segens over there, over here.
Yeah, keep an eye on that red square for
Don't
me.
be the dick.
Yeah, don't be the ass.
No promises.
So we are going to stick with temperature since you guys are going to work together as a team. So we're going to get this team done and out of the way. We have to kind of debunk the things that Tyler's going to find on that thermal imaging. So we all know what this guy is, right? So we got a red surface square dot there. It's only going to measure where that dot lands. So with that being said, I don't know what the temperature is between the gun and the dot. That's where the yellow ambient thermometer comes from. So this is going to measure ambient temperature on the bottom number. So that way, in case Tyler says, Nick, there's a black dot on this wall and I can't figure out what's going on, I'm going to measure the whole wall. If it's the same temperature all the way across, including where the black dot allegedly is, I now know that that cold spot is between Tyler and the wall. Does that make sense? So that's where this guy comes in, and we're going to measure and try to find out where the cold spot is and still try to debunk if it's an air conditioner. Is it something cold? Is there a draft, wind, anything that we can come up with? So you guys are going to work together as a temperature team. I'm going to give one of those to each of you. Yours isn't as exciting, but his is. So you're going to be able to intermingle with his. So I will work more with you guys individually on your first location that we go to. So this is just kind of a quick intro. London is here. She knows just as much about these tools and devices. So that way, she's going to help me bounce around with such a large group.
But I'm funnier. He had no comeback, so yes, you are.
Let's go with, what do we want next? Where is it? Magic bag of tricks, and I can't find what I need. There we go. Spirit boxes. We're going to be using several different types of spirit boxes tonight. Does anybody not know what a spirit box is?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So, it only takes one. So spirit boxes are basically going to sweep through FM radio stations at a very quick rate. Your TV shows, it's that stupid annoying static that you hear. They have theirs going so fast that they don't allow the radio to come through. Or they're in a location where there is no radio signal. So the FM stations are just going very quick. It's like a clicking noise. Mine is set up a lot slower. I want it slower on purpose because I want the radio chatter. I want those DJs and song lyrics, commercials to come through. I want them to tell us what's going on. It could be a direct answer or it could be just whatever they want to tell us. You have to think of this as Bumblebee from Transformers. He's using this as a voice. I don't care what gender it is or what tone it is, but as long as I get words that you can understand, that's a big deal. It's a 50-50 shot at that point. So I need words. So I'm actually going to go with this. Oh, the cool thing about this guy is it's going to record the entire session for us.
I like those shoes.
It's not going to record any outside noise. Even when this thing is on mute right now, it's already recording. So even when I'm telling stories and it's turned down, we still get a nice even recording tomorrow morning. How cool is that? So, because you don't know what it is, pick your partner.
All right, I'll take this one.
Perfect. I'm guessing you're married or dating or something.
Yes, yes.
So, you have one button to worry about.
Okay.
It's a volume button right here. Turn it up, you turn it down. That's simple. I'll give you kind of like the noise levels of where we're at because we don't want to speak ponies and certain things that we're going to be near. So I'll say spirit box is up is kind of your cue.
Okay.
Joannie, where's your crew?
She said she left her mess, so now she's running down the street.
Got me.
All right. big green bag for stories in the cemetery. Love it. So, this type of spirit box is a little different. This one's very easy to use. So, this one is an app. Now, you're thinking, Nick, it's an app. What's it actually going to do? It's actually going to give us words in the center of the screen from time to time.
Wow.
Okay? Nice thing about that, oh look at that. It says I'm giving you a visual. So, it's also going to save all of those words to a list. The last story I just did had 68 words come up. I'm going to clear them out. I already emailed it to myself. We're going to start you guys off fresh. So, with that being said, 80% of this app is absolute bullshit. Sorry for the language, but that's just the way it is. It doesn't mean anything. It's meant to be a game and a hoax. It's the other 5 to 20% that I will put in bold letters for you and give you a verifiable link of why it's relevant. So,
Like when it's
again,
in my name.
this is one of the key things that we use because it gives us very direct answers. So, Hunter, was it?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to do anything besides hold that throne.
Okay.
All you got.
That'll work.
Now, in the event you want to check out the list, you can hit this little calendar and it'll show you all of those words in the list. Never hit clear, always go back to this one.
You won't know.
So you have 2 buttons, the calendar and the time. Never go to the bottom.
Derek?
EMF meters. All right, right to 2. Where's number 3?
She won't be coming.
She's not coming?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I apologize.
No, you're fine. We'll figure all of that out. So this will actually work out pretty good. We're up to 9. All right, so you guys can get a little closer. You missed kind of all of the intro, but it's all being recorded anyway. I don't know what he said. What do you say?
Scary. Oh.
Oh yeah, sure. All right, EMF meters. So these are our first indication that something is actually happening around us. Okay, so I don't get excited when just this guy is going off. So it measures 3 different types of electromagnetic fields. First one is natural, comes from the earth, so it's not doing anything. The next one is from our electronic devices. Nick, you just handed out a whole stack of electronic devices. It's going to go off like crazy. Not necessarily. It has to literally be touching it in order for it to give it a rhythm or a pulse. We don't want that either. What we do want is for this thing to go absolutely nuts. So, with that being said, then we're still going to try to debunk, is it a rhythm that we just can't detect? Is there wiring nearby? So forth and so on. Is there a parking meter nearby? That'll make it go off too. So, because you're kind of in the middle of all of this, you're going to help the 2 spirit boxes determine where to stop.
Okay.
And that's kind of your job. All right. Now, we've got some fun stuff for you. I've been waiting.
Everyone has to like do something because
Participate?
I don't want to screw nothing.
You're not going to do anything.
Okay.
Alright, so Joannie, I need you to kind of pay attention to this stuff because you're going to be this part. We're going to give you something.
Yeah,
easy.
she's smarter than me. So.
So we're going to work with some lasers. Lasers help us see things we can't see with the naked eye. So the first one we're going to use gives us red squares. Why red squares?
Good job.
Well, help me out here, assistant.
Bro,
Jeez.
I'm not getting
Man,
paid
let's
for
go.
this.
Yeah, you are.
No.
All right, red squares. So the cool thing is you can't see the lasers from the box to the ground, right? So what we're looking for here is something to pass through it. You can see the lasers when something goes through it. Now, is it going to go, hey, I'm right here? No, it's not. It's going to be very quick. It's going to be super fast. So what we're going to do here is Jamani's going to have this particular laser. And I'm sorry, dear, what was your first name?
Darrielle.
Darrielle. Okay, sorry, because there was 3 of you.
Yeah, I know. I'm
So
Darrielle.
Darrielle is going to simply be taking lots of pictures through these lasers. That's all she's going to do. Why? Because all of those pictures might come up with something she missed or that Jamani missed. So this one is yours. It has 1 toggle switch. You want to keep it pointed down. And they can drop on blind cards. See what's right here? Take it down. That's it. Stay on. Just like that.
Neuralizer?
Neuralizer for Men in Black. I want you all to stare right here. Did I do that joke with you guys before? I probably did, because I've been doing it for years. So, you guys are not going to remember anything, but it's all recorded, so you'll be fine. This one is also a laser. Green dots.
Pretty.
Pretty, right? So, same principle, Jamani. You're actually going to have both. So, it's a lot of responsibility.
Great power comes from.
I try to keep the lasers in one person's hand, just because that way I can keep track. Just so you guys know. With that being said, same principle, something goes through it. Now, I can't put this one in 3D software, but it is much brighter and will show up through the pictures that you're about to take with the camera I'm going to give you. So, very cool stuff, right? Don't cross the streams. Did anybody get my Ghostbuster joke? London got it.
Yup. So I've been here for over a year and a half.
Yeah.
We got it twice a day.
I know, right? Alright, we got one last element, and we'll have all the tools out.
And then you're going to have it perfectly like that. Thanks, everyone.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, right? We could probably do the other spirit box with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like the black one. They know how to use that one. Like, set it up.
I know where it's at.
It's in the big box. D'ARRIELLE. And just so you guys know, I don't give this to teenagers. They have no idea what it is.
Oh,
So,
me as example.
London still questions it. Your power button's right here. Your shoot button is the big button. So, JOANIE, shoot your lasers down for me. So literally what you're going to do, don't press this strange button. There we go. So, you just want to take pictures.
When I pick up
That was one you saw last.
It's going to be that quick. So I've seen you take the pictures. I don't care if you take 1,000 pictures.
Then we flip between the phone with the words.
He had the phone.
Oh, he had the phone?
So that way you won't.
I couldn't remember who had the phone. But I thought we rotated
Alright.
it a little bit.
Well, they already know how to use it.
I know.
You just don't know how to set it up?
Nope. And it was my thing. My birthday.
Would you like the thermal or that?
Alright, so you guys remember this one? With this speaker on there?
No, the speaker was on.
Okay, so it
That's
has a
nice
speaker
to have
on
it
it now.
now.
Yeah, because I was holding it up in my ear.
Okay, yeah, it was
Yeah.
bad that night. Okay, yeah. So obviously we turned this off. Sorry, this one has all kinds of weird buttons on it.
Do you
London
remember
set it
how
up.
to work that, Queen?
There we go.
That was the
I'm not usually setting stuff
So
up.
up here near the big buttons on the ball, there's a turn it to the left, we'll turn it up, you just have to hold it,
Okay.
and then you hold it to the right, and it'll turn it down.
Okay.
So just add it so it amplified. There you go. Alright, so
Did you like the thermal?
now we've
Okay.
got literally everything out and about. So with that being said, we start here for a reason. This place is haunted. This place used to be Big John's. If you've lived here for any part of your life, you probably heard of Big John Kennedy because this was his bar. So, you guys are locals too, right?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not there. Okay. All right, so you're going to learn all kinds of things. So we have to tell her all the good stories. So Big John was a football player for the 1947 New York Giants. I'm not a football fan. I had to memorize this crap for y'all. So I know, right? So I don't know all the teammates, but sometimes they like to come through. So Big John used to sit in the back of the bar. So Big John used to sit in the back of the bar and tell the bartender if the cadets that came over from the Citadel were of age or not. One night, two guys come in, they're not of age. John tells the bartender, get them the hell out of here. So they leave, they come back the next night, and they try to steal the cash register from the front of the bar. Big John sees what's going on, big bar fight starts to happen, John's pounding these guys into the ground, a couple of gunshots go off. John gets shot in the neck, bullet ricochets and lands in the wall. Sorry, some of these stories may be altered because I've been doing a lot of research.
Oh, here you go.
So, but anyway, you guys probably heard this stuff anyway. So they're repeat. They've been here before. They've been doing it. But anyway, so Big John gets up after beating these guys to a pulp, and he goes back to the bar and tells the bartender to get him a beer and get the two guys that he just beat up an ambulance. John's the one that got shot in the neck. That's the story. There was no dead people. So what's haunting this place? Anybody want to guess? Besides Tyler? The bullet hole is what's haunting the place. London was getting ready to tell you guys. Did you guys see that? She got all the press. So the bullet hole in the front actually will cause people to get a little dizzy, nauseated, just not feel well, a little queasy. So that's the only place I've ever gotten EMF from inside that building as well. So your EMF meter, that's the only spot is near the front of this bar. So if you guys are starting to feel any of those things, please let me know. We will move you on to another place very, very quickly. EMF. EMF, electromagnetic fields. So, and we'll talk more about these devices through our first spot. So, the other piece of history from this building, we had a big earthquake here in 1886. Some of you locals already know that. Allegedly, this is where the first death occurred. Piece of the mantle above your heads that wraps around the front of the building. Everybody looks up when I say that. Love it. Fell off and struck somebody in the head. And apparently, that was the first death from the earthquake. So take that for what it's worth. It's one of those rumor mill kind of things. I have no verifiable proof, but it is what it is, and I don't like people to linger on the fact that they could get sick from this tour. And so, from the sitting in front of the bar kind of thing. All right, so is everybody ready to go ghost hunting?
Yeah. Just said go home.
Did it really?
Yeah.
No, not going home. It's too much fun out here. So let me pack up this bag. London's going to lead the way to the next spot, and I'm going to follow behind while I wrap this up since it's spilled out everywhere.
Cool, you have fun with
And
that.
London did not clean it up properly.
Hi, I'm your new tour guide. Hey, Andy.
I know these
Angela.
Tyler's on it. He's like, there's activity 50 feet away. I got this.
Word. Catch it all.
Super red.
Oh, you guys made my bag so light. I love it.
Oh my gosh, look at.
EMF's going nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Everybody, welcome to the Great Water Block. By the way, ghost hunting isn't always pretty, so if you're expecting sightseeing, sorry, wrong tour. You're like thinking that I'm going to be taking them to see all the sights in Charleston. Believe it or not. So, big red barn. The horses are in there. Those of you with lasers, no lasers on that building whatsoever. So, JOANIE, please pay attention to your lasers. They cannot go in those windows. We will spook the horses. And if you wanted a jump scare, that's the way to get it. So,
Oh, the lasers?
yes, no lasers on that building at all.
Oh,
We will
the
spook.
horses in the end?
Yes, horses are inside. So, the only history I have of this building, guys, is that this is the same red barn where we kept horses that delivered milk to Charleston. When I tell you stories or a history of a building, there will be certain words emphasized for your spirit boxes. There's a lot of them out. I just told you about delivery, milk, but also keep in mind that they delivered eggs, dairy products, calcium, protein. All of these kind of terms will come up. So let's talk about those spirit boxes. Spirit boxes, this is not TV. It's not, is somebody here? If they say no, first off, that somebody's here.
They're sarcastic.
Yes.
Yes.
Or they could be malevolent. So, if a real estate commercial comes through on those two spirit boxes, and you hear the word houses, you think you heard the word yes. S and O in the English phonetic language are two of the most common sounds we know. Okay, so just stay away from yes or no questions altogether. Don't even bother. So, what are we going to have? We all know that the barn is red, right? Can we all agree to that? If somebody's colorblind and I offended you, sorry, it was not intentional. It's supposed to be a joke. You guys missed it. You guys are being so absorbent. Like, what's he saying behind the mask?
You're losing the translation with the mask, man.
I know, give us the ghost, right? So, you're going to ask simple questions that you know the answers to. What color's the barn? You're going to wait 30 seconds and listen to your spirit box and watch your spirit box. See if you get the color red. Ask it again if you don't get an answer. You're going to try this 2, 3, maybe 4 tries. In the event you don't get an answer at all from what color is the barn and you know that the answer is red, try something else. What's inside the barn? We already know that they're animals, they're horses, their breed is a draft horse. They delivered milk to Charleston. So now you have all of these terms that can come up. Ghost hunting is about putting clues together. It's not always going to be a direct answer. You guys are working off of radio DJs and song lyrics. It's not going to be, hi, my name's Tyler and I'm holding a FLIR thermal imaging camera. It's going to be Heat Tyler. That's what it's going to be, just to give you an example. Sorry, Tyler, I threw you out there.
No, I mean, they said my name last time we did it, so.
Yeah, so they did. I actually remember that. So that's weird I remember that because I do 2 tours a night. So 6 nights a week, I'm a busy guy. So I do want the spirit boxes to go out and have some fun. I'm going to work with Tyler a little bit more on the FLIR just so he kind of knows more about what he's looking for. As far as the digital and the lasers, I do want you guys kind of poking around, seeing where the activity is coming from, seeing who's hearing what, and that way you kind of know to keep your lasers down. Your lasers are strong enough to set off car alarms. So do not flash those on cars or in the barn. Keep them straight down about 5 feet in front of you. London's going to work with you first and kind of give you a little bit more. This is my daughter, by the way. You guys missed that. So she's going to kind of work with you and show you a little bit more of what you're looking for in those pictures. I don't know if she has access to my Facebook, but she can show you some evidence of things I've got. That's from your mother. We won't get into that. So, spirit boxes, go have some fun. Where's that from? Or the EMF? Follow the EMF, wherever it's strongest. And I'm going to bounce around with you once I'm done with Tyler and then with the thermal stuff. So, start asking questions on your end. Stay within the confines of the lot. So, kind of spread out a little guys need to stay away from them, just so your strings aren't crossing there as well. So that way you're not listening to two different static pieces. So I'm going to work with them. You guys go have some fun. We're going to spend like 5 minutes here. It's not going to be long. All right. So Tyler, do you remember much about that thermal imaging camera?
I was using them at work, so.
What's that?
So we use them at the fire department.
That's right, you do use them.
Yeah.
So, did you see the piece of evidence that I caught?
I'd have to go back and look.
Normally what I show folks.
What color's the building?
So this is obviously the Pinckney Mansion site. I don't remember what day, October 10th, so this was long after you guys. There's 2 living heads walking past it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to find 2 dead people walking the opposite way in just a second. As soon as that pause button goes away. So right around this mark, you can see,
Oh, yeah.
boom, boom.
Nice.
They sent it off to some firemen that I've been working with and mechanics. They're like, dude, if that was a car, it's too far away. There's no way.
Where's the barn?
So I've had all kinds of people look at this video. This is obviously just a short clip. And the funny thing is they called me up to this corner, and I'll show you where the corner is when we get there, because they thought they saw some shadows moving.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
That's always nice to have something else to go with it. But yeah, I mean, that's.
Well, I just reviewed video because of the
That's
situation.
why I love corner stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, it always seems something is wanting to hit that corner.
Well, it's nice that we'll have a pro that you work with that thing normally. And if you notice too, like I'm not using any more devices.
Yeah.
Like, I hand them all out now. You know, even the digital word list I was using on my phone. I quit using the reverse spirit box. The activity from that seemed to slow down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, I mean, I've gotten some really great stuff out of it, but it just seems, if I got a group like this, it's so much easier for me to bounce around with you guys if I'm not focused.
Yeah, if you're not trying to do it and
Right.
use yours to go with them, man, hand it out to somebody else and
So we just found
let it
another
all get
phone
put
lying
together
around
by
and
itself or together.
Yeah, one of London's old phones. I smacked a battery on the back of it like that one.
Yeah.
Boom, extra device. So we do have, like our next piece, me and London were talking about it this morning. We're going to get one of those like REM pods.
Tell me your name.
I had, it was interesting. A couple weeks ago, I had a gentleman come on, backpack, filled with gear. All the shit I don't have. I'm like, dude.
What was that?
Come on with.
I spent 2 hours with that guy. Just learning, like he was learning about my equipment and I was learning about his. Like the
That's
rest of the
awesome.
group was having fun,
tell me you
but
love me?
it was kind of like, dude, show me. I was infatuated with his REM pod because we had so much activity out of here. But
That was a laugh?
it's not a lot.
Yeah. That is so weird.
Look at you guys.
What y'all
making
got going
friends.
through?
I love it.
It keeps saying love, love.
Who do you love?
And I said, do you love me? And it said, that's true. It said, I love you.
Who do you love?
So you have the gist of like the temperature guns of why I gave them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have to go
I
over.
sure hope he knows about that stuff.
I forgot that he was a fireman. Like, just, again, I see so many people, and that was, I mean, that tour that you guys took, that was what, end of June?
Are you here to talk to
Angela,
him?
June
when was that?
It was in May.
May?
May? I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought you looked familiar when you
Yeah,
came
but
up.
that was a good tour though, man. Like we really enjoyed it. Like I keep telling my family and everybody else, like, hey, like when y'all come back down, we need to.
Yeah, just call me.
Like I said, we don't mind. We went on Groupon, found it, and
Just call me.
punched it in, man.
It'll get rid of the middleman for me and gives you guys a bigger discount, and I'll make more money off of it.
Cool, that works.
Hi, Ed.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of repeats now, which is surprising.
It's not very surprising for me, man. You know your history with it, which is a major part, obviously, for people in Charleston because there's a ton of history.
For the carriage
But
house.
you bring a different atmosphere and aspect to it. It's not, nothing wrong with the jail
work
or
in the
anything else like
carriage
that. Like that's what I was telling her.
That was a big fat
The
no.
jail's a
That was a big
completely
fat
different
no.
animal in a ball game.
Holy
It's great in its own thing. However,
No.
it's not in the same league. It's not
And
apples to
where do you
apples.
Yeah.
It's cool to go there, see how small the cells were, and learn the history of it, and the reverse gallows and all
Ed, what do
that.
you
But
wanna
as
tell
far
us?
as actual spirit hunting, no, man, this is it. So,
I appreciate that. Again, you guys are bringing.
I mean,
me more.
we've done Bulldog, we've done
What?
the regular tours and walking
What?
tours, and we've done the jail a couple times. But this is a
So,
completely
Ed,
different
tell us
thing.
again.
You guys you'll have some
Did
fun
you
with
work
the
in a
last part.
barn?
We dive into Ann Bonnie.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm gonna check up with the rest of these
All
guys.
right.
Did you work in the carriage house? You want to have fun with it?
Hey, you want to play with a thermal?
No, you just talk. You like to aggravate the shit out of things.
What do y'all got that going?
Ed, do you want to talk to Tyler?
Hey, Ed.
Ed, do you want to say hello to Tyler? Hey.
Hello, Ed. How are you? Do you love it here?
Ed, tell me love. Ed, were there chickens in the barn? Say chickens.
What kind of animals are in the barn?
Did you say lemurs? Ed, did you do that on purpose? Let's walk over here, maybe.
I don't care.
If I get too close, it's fine.
Ed, who else is here with you?
Ed, what's your friend's name? Do you have a friend here that you can tell us their name? Can you say hi to Angela?
Come on over and tell us what you found.
What? Say hi to Angela. Hi there.
No, don't hand me that. Talking about murder and said my name last time.
Turn that thing down and tell us what you heard, because you were the ones that heard the most.
Well, so the first one that kept saying love, and I said, "Do you love me?" And it said love again, and I go, "Is it me you love?" And it said, "I love you." So that was freaky.
I kept thinking it was saying Eds, but then we got
Ed. It kept saying
Several Ed.
Ed, because I said, "What's your name?" Ed. So we were thinking at first it kept saying eggs. We're like, maybe there's chickens in there.
The cool thing, you guys were hanging out with Tyler the entire time, so he's obviously had that audio recording. So even the name Ed that we're talking about is going to be on this recording that I kind of quickly review to see if there was any other things that came out of your spirit box, because it doesn't record. But I can look up Ed as far as the teammates from Big John, and I can almost guarantee you that he played with an Ed, a specific Ed.
Edward.
Yeah, I'm going to go strictly with Ed. So I'm noticing when it's the teammates of Big John, they don't give me their full name. So I'm looking for an Ed. If it comes up Ed, what was the one name I came up with before? It was something it was like Spike or something. Like it was a very specific term. So I don't like to go with stretches. I'm not looking for Edward, I'm looking for Ed. So that's kind of how that works. And then I give you the link to show you the roster from that specific year with the Giants and Big John. And especially if we have a number that shows up and if the jersey number matches the name, that's where I get excited. So if we heard the name John and the number 20 came up, that was Big John's number when he played with the Giants. So that's exciting to me.
Wow.
So
When I said, "Can you say hi to Angela?" And it said, "Hiya,
hiya.
hiya."
So we'll be able to hear all of that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you'll hear a lot of the static roll through. Like the first time we did this, it was always us trying to make something out of the radio stations. But like when something actually comes through, it comes out pretty daggone clear.
We asked it if Ed worked in the carriage house and it went no. Like
So
it was a hard no.
I'm guessing it's a teammate. So
Yeah.
even though you asked a yes or no question, you still got a definitive answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
So
I know.
are we ready to learn some real history
That
of
was like a
Charleston?
loud
That was a loud no.
Did you guys hear? I'm sorry. Did anybody else have any other evidence that they heard or saw? Hunter, what kind of words have you been getting? This is your
Fitting
time to speak.
words.
Yeah, you've been talking and it's like coming up with some cool stuff.
We've got wound, major, near, rend, request.
Yeah. So wound is definitely something that is tied to the next location, which is literally half a block away. So that's probably something. I'll see what else comes up. We'll see what else comes out of that to see if something matches up so I can solidify it. So again, there is a wound from one of the, I don't want to say characters, but one of the family members of the next location from a big battle. That's pretty significant, likes to come up often. So I'll see if that person's name comes up or even the battle. So again, I don't like to go with one thing. If it's something else, I can tie it to something else. That's where it gets really interesting. So let's go find some more ghosts. All right. I know, right? We usually close things down by things. This is a quick, let's learn about our devices and get moving. Hurry over there.
Say goodbye to Ed, Tyler.
Bye, Ed.
Bye, Ed.
Turn it back up so I can say bye to you.
Yeah. And then the last time I heard Ed, and I was like, oh, that's it.
Look at the beautiful sights I take y'all to. No.
This one was pretty good last time we were here, so I'm good with it. This one we got murder, rape. This is where it said my name.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How's our EMF doing?
Like it said my name, and then it came across the guy who's got the list box. It came across there with my name. Like it was like, oh shit, okay.
They didn't like you for some reason.
In the front facing
That's
east.
good. Maybe we can.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
Who the heck were they? Charles and Eliza had a son named Charles. There's the second Charles. And they had a nephew named Charles. There's the third Charles. The nephew and the son were signers of our Constitution. I hate politics. We just had an election year. Let's move on. It does smell very good over here, so please enjoy. London has been pinpointing food all night. Obviously, she has not eaten dinner. So,
I'm hungry.
so where was I? Getting off track with food.
Steamed fries.
Oh, Eliza. We're going to talk about Eliza. She's way more important. She's way more interesting. So Eliza is from England. She married Charles at a young age. Again, I'm not going to give you answers here like red barn and horses. You're going to have to get the answers from the ghosts. So figure out what age she got married to Charles. It's young compared to how old he was. Now, she married him because her father from England thought he was dying and he wanted all of his kids home. She didn't want to go. So she got married. It didn't give her citizenship because we're talking about colonial times. But it did pretty much say that she's not going anywhere. So it's a big trip back in colonial times to get all the way back to England, especially for a father that might be dead by the time you get there. So she was wrong. Dad didn't die, or she was right. Dad was wrong. He did not die, and he started sending her gifts over from England. One of those gifts happened to be the plant indigo. So locals have probably seen the word indigo a few times driving around town. Indigo is a dye that it's a plant that makes blue dye that makes our blue jeans blue. A lot of you are wearing it tonight, actually. So we still use it. It's a big deal. Why is it a big deal? Because it started here, and then he moved it over to Sneed Farm in Mount Pleasant, and then she was able to use her dad's contacts to make it a cash crop to sell it overseas. That's a huge deal. If you think about the British and the coats that they were all blue. How do you think we made them blue? She sold them the indigo to make them blue. Not to mention it also makes purple. So, I'm just touching the iceberg of what Eliza's done for our country. Our rice plantations were going downhill, and indigo crops pretty much saved all 13 colonies. A couple weird facts about Eliza you guys can ask on your spirit box. You guys probably already know the answers. Please don't give them the jelly. So, London has been leaking information, so
No,
don't
I
be.
haven't.
Yes, she has.
Liar.
Wow, look at that full moon, everybody. Sorry, that's actually just a beautiful sight. Anyway, not that, again, I won't get into full moon stuff. So Eliza was the second wife named Eliza from Charles. So you can ask what her maiden name was, because that's what she goes by. So does the first wife. And they both start with L. So whatever you guys come up with, we'll see what that's. It's not London. Good try. So it's Eliza Blank Pinkney. So her maiden name comes up often, as does the first wife. So we'll see what comes up. Ask anything you want to about Eliza's death. She's pretty open about it. You can ask how old she was, what did she die from, where is she buried, where did she die, and which U.S. president was a pallbearer at her funeral. Yes, very important lady, Miss Eliza. Very important lady. So, I gave you the time period already, so no Googling. So, again, teenager for sale. Cheap.
Do you clean bathrooms?
No, she does not clean anything.
Pass.
Can always learn.
What happened to the mansion? That's a big question too. So that's a good one. Let's see, what else can you ask? You can ask how many kids she had, but don't ask any other details about those kids, please. All of your activity will stop. I'm sorry, sweetheart. What was your name again?
Tara.
Tara. How can I forget? You're the one that booked. So, Tara, I want you to look at your EMF and look at that blinking light on the back of Five Truth Restaurant.
Okay.
Hold that thing up like you're going to take a selfie.
Okay.
You will get a surge, then a surge will go to the building. You'll get a surge, then a surge to the building. It's within 2 seconds on a video. Like literally 2 frames. It's the energy that pours out of here and is affecting that very weak light on the back of the building. It doesn't always blink. That's exciting to me because that's my barometer of how much activity we're going to catch here. Okay, so again, this is my hotspot. I want y'all to have fun here. I'm going to bounce around with all of you because I'm not using tools anymore, which is funny. I used to use what Hunter was using, and I also used the reverse spirit box, which I stopped using for a while just to kind of give it a break, which is nice because then I get to bounce around with all of you and kind of see what's going on. And then we'll kind of regroup. But I want you guys to ask those questions of the things that I provoked. Feel free to ask your own questions. Just stay away from those yes or no's. Joni, I'm watching you. I heard that yes or no question you asked.
Does the name Layla mean anything?
No. Why did you get Layla? I had that show up here last week too. It was weird. You know the deal with video cameras and people in their cars. If somebody comes walking by going up to their car, they get a little weird about us filming. They don't know that that's a thermal imaging camera. But the funny thing is if I was a car thief, that would be my first tool because it tells me how long the car's been here based on its heat signature. How about that? Hunter's like, yeah, that's a great idea. I love it. So let's spread out. Let's have some fun. I'm actually going to start with you ladies on this side. There's spirit boxes.
Don't ask Eliza. Eliza, how old were you when you married? How old were you when you married?
You said baby's dead? They almost kind of sound like the song is Baby's Dead.
Yeah, don't antagonize that.
I'm not that kind of antagonize nothing.
Hi, Eliza. It's really noisy out here, but can you say hello to us? Eliza, did you like? Yes or no?
Eliza, what was your maiden name? What was your maiden name? How many kids did you have?
Eliza, we need you to ground. We need you to say hello. It's okay. Just say hello. Can you tell us where you're from?
Wow.
Whose home was here?
Eliza, what is your last name?
I love you. That's so weird, isn't it?
Is Ed following us?
That's a yes or no question.
I know.
Come back to us, Ed.
Go ahead. Let Eliza talk.
Is there anyone here besides Eliza?
Can't do yes or no questions.
Who's here with us?
Who's here besides?
Say that again. What's your name? Richard?
I heard Rich.
Can you tell us again what your name is? Are you a male or a female? Man or a woman?
Eliza, are you here?
You remember how it was saying our name and your name last time?
Yeah.
Just said Joe.
Nice.
So who's here that wants to talk with us? Gotta be a little bit more clear. That was clear, but can you say my name again? Joni? Joan? Not baby. Here, Joan, again. Eliza, are you with us? Can you say hello? Is there a male or a female with us?
I swear I've heard female twice. 2 different times there.
Can you say hello to Angela? Can you say hello to Angela?
How many people are here?
Eliza, are you here? Charles, are you here?
Hi, Charles.
Charles, what do you want to say? Can you say hello? Good night.
Charles, how many wives did you have?
Charles, how many wives did you have? Are we talking to Charles, the senior or the junior?
What happened to your house? What happened to your house? A jukebox happened to your house. It said your name twice. Charles. Hello.
What color was your house? Charles, how many people are here with you? One? Charles, who was your wife? What was your wife's name?
Charles, how old are you?
We want to talk to Eliza. Eliza, can you tell us hello, please? Eliza, are you here? Can you say hello? Eliza, how did you get to where we are now? Did you have to take a boat? How did you make your money? Eliza, can you say hello, please?
Seems like you guys are doing okay. I'm gonna head up and help them out.
All right. Can you say Tyler?
Tyler was here before.
We'll go over here, see if they do anything different. Because we got more stuff closer to the gate.
Closer to the gate before?
Yeah.
It was right around here.
Well, and here's where we started, and we made our way to the gate, and over the gates where I heard rape and murder. Who's here with us?
Would you like to talk to us? Tell us what you want us to hear. Are you happy or sad? How many people are here right now? Would you like us to go? Do you want to tell us good night? I love you. I love you. Who else is here with us? Why are you playing? Tell me who's here.
What happened to you?
Hey, we don't think we did this. What's wrong? What?
Anything out of it? You guys had a name?
Very little. We got her
We got
name.
Charles, we got Joan.
Said my name twice.
Somebody's following you around, my dear.
I know. Well, I just want to say this. I'm an empath. So I'm kind of like a
That's
Bud
probably why
Light.
you're here. You're testing the water.
I'm a little bit of a Bud Light.
How you feeling?
Over there, I felt more buzzy than over here. I haven't felt very buzzy over here.
It's interesting. You're getting me not eating up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So,
I think Ed follows me over here. Keeps saying love.
Yeah, I said love.
Keeps saying love.
that's interesting. I wonder if you look like his wife.
Oh, maybe.
Kind of like the old Dracula story, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So, sorry, I'm always going to bring up your literature.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not getting much out of this area.
So they're not getting much either, so I took them over to where the fire started. So maybe hopefully kind of provoke that there.
Okay.
See.
What about we go over to the gate area?
So the gate is a little off center. So you gotta remember the mansion back in one of the times,
I thought I heard it say gate when I said gate.
off to the center is where the house was. The house was more this way because their carriage house was up in the corner. They had their own horse and wagon.
Right.
So that little garage was on that side.
Ed?
Yeah, it sounded like Ed.
It sounded like Ed again.
No, so that's twice. It said Ed. About 5 seconds Ed.
Well, we are still very close. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. And even when things come across, like even the Big John teammates, and even when we walk away, I've had Eliza's maiden name show up at the end. It's only a block and a half.
Yeah.
So again, it
Well, that and a
happens.
big name within the area who says you don't roam.
Well, it's her maiden name, so that would
Yeah.
be her English name. So it wouldn't have been
True
prominent
that.
here. Pink name is prominent. Her maiden name was not. So are you picking up anything else that I need to know?
I'm feeling more male.
More Charles. So ask about Charles' birthday, death, what his political position was. Like he was a political leader here in town. So ask all of those things to him. He's come through for me before. Normally when I got everybody poking at Eliza, I'm poking away at Charles.
Well, I heard them hitting Eliza and we weren't getting anything for Eliza. I was like, oh, where's Charles?
Yeah.
Well, is there anybody else here?
Yeah.
And then, his name came through.
I've had his name come up on the work list on point.
Yeah.
Charles, if you're here, put your name on this box. Charles, thanks. I do that to the skeptics all the time. I love it. So I get them running. Like, oh shit, it's actually real. Yeah, it is. It's the only way in and out. Because he doesn't want to pay the ridiculous price that it costs to pay here. So, remember, did I tell you guys about the store that I have planned? That I want to open up? So the goal for Stories in a Cemetery is to have a ghost hunting shop where I sell equipment and books on the paranormal.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And then
I do remember
upstairs
that
I'll
part.
rent out as a haunted hotel, right? Everybody gets a gear, I get taught how to use it. But I came up with a brainiac idea to actually buy this plat of land and turn it into Stories in a Cemetery dedicated to Eliza Pinckney and build it in the old form of the house that they had.
That'd be cool.
It would, but I don't have $10 million.
So to say, good luck with the city or whoever owns it and
Well, it's a parking lot.
their
They're
price.
actually
Yeah.
going to be turning it into a hotel.
Yeah,
So I just got to get it away from them. I figure some crowdfunding, I might be able to pull this off.
that would be cool.
But I would allow an archaeological dig first.
Well, that and there's still,
yeah.
Pinckney's still a huge name out here. And I know quite a few Pinckneys, so
Yeah.
that's a huge name.
And there's people fighting for this place all over the United States because of the history that's here.
I don't know why it's parking lot.
Well, it shouldn't be. I
No.
think it needs to be remembered as what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it back. Not to mention it's a great spot to have people to buy the tickets and go, to ghost hunt affairs and all that stuff.
Eliza, what color should he paint the building?
Oh,
Brown?
I heard black.
You heard black?
There's
What
still,
color did you hear?
Eliza, tell me again. I didn't hear you. What color should he paint the building? Nick here wants to build a house here in remembrance of you. What color should it be?
Something glass.
Foggy glass.
Foggy glass.
Yeah.
That's the sense in the fire.
I think it should be blue. What do you think about blue or brown?
Funny, that thing's been quiet until you started asking questions. All right, I'm gonna gather everybody up. All right, guys, let's head over this way.
I still get a man.
Yeah.
What?
I still feel like there's a man.
Yeah. Charles wanted to come through more than she
Charles
is.
is.
Charles gets ignored.
Interesting. So, the interesting thing. Get everybody gathered up.
Charles.
Come on, ladies. Did you guys see anything weird in your pictures?
Not that I can
Hotel.
Alright, so I was just telling them one of the things that I want to do with Stories of the Cemetery is kind of do those hunting shots. So what I want to do is ghost hunting equipment on one side and books on the paranormal on the other. And then of course upstairs will be a haunted hotel that I rent out with ghost hunting equipment and teach people how to do what you guys are doing tonight. But I thought I had this brainiac idea to start it right here in remembrance of Eliza Pinckney's home that was lost in the Great Fire of 1861. So they were just asking questions of what color does Nick need to paint the house, and they got the color brown, which is interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a colored photo of this house, but I do know that it had big, giant white columns in the front. So, color? Can you find me that picture? Because I get to find it.
It was
Before the fire.
Yeah, I got a picture from like an old history thing from 8th grade.
Oh, I learned about this stuff in school. All right, so tell us what you guys heard on your end.
It said my name twice.
Okay.
Said Charles.
Said Charles. Yep. We asked who was here. Charles.
Said hello to me again.
Yep.
So I've had Charles show up on point on Hunter's device before when I'm trying to prove a skeptic wrong. Hey Charles, you're here. Put your name on this box I'm using. Charles, boom, there it is. So it's not uncommon for us to hear that name in this location.
Well,
did anybody hear the name Thomas by chance? Okay.
what I thought was funny is my name is Joan, but I don't go by Joan normally.
Okay.
And it said Joan twice.
Okay.
So,
We think Ed's following her, but
yeah.
Yeah.
that's kind of where we're at with this whole situation.
It
So,
keeps loving
we're
you.
gonna
Because
look up-
Ed came up again too.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we did hear Ed again.
Ed came up again.
So the cool thing is, their recording will be heard on the FLIR thermal imaging video, so you guys will be able to verify that. I will kind of go through those spots just to see what I hear at the same time, make sure the audio is clear. So, questions, the answers to the questions, yes.
Really quick, I know you said don't ask, about
If you hold that by here, it'll keep it.
Yeah. I could just have it in my ear since we got it trimmed down. That way while he's still talking about everything, we can see if it picks up and actually hear it in real time. That's why I've been staying near y'all.
Most of our buildings are made out of wood. So if there was a fire from a gas lamp, it spread. So do I know
Charles,
the cause
what do you
of
think
it?
about
I
us
don't.
being here?
Sorry. I'm not the
This was
know-it-all.
it's like
Maybe one of you guys know. Local? No? So the answers, Eliza
Very
Lucas
angrily.
Pinckney was the one that planted all
Beat
the
it.
indigo. Eliza Lamb Pinckney was the insignificant Christopher. So both maiden names will show up from time to time. Mainly Lucas.
Came across and said, beat it.
They had, Eliza and Charles had 4 children, so if that was a question that you asked, there was 4 kids, only 1 daughter. The daughter's name was
Do you
Harriet.
not like us being here?
And she actually lived in the Myrtle Beach, Georgetown area. I think that's where she got married into. Let's see, Eliza died at the age of 70.
No.
So if anybody heard the number 7 or 70, that would
was
be a
that?
good indication as well. She died from breast cancer that we know of. We're talking colonial times. We can't really pinpoint breast cancer. It's close.
What do you think about us being here?
Teenagers, again. Look, where are they? Oh, the guy was still adopted by me, right? She was up there doing business at the age of 70 with her breast cancer and died. And that's also where she's buried.
Do you like all this? Why don't you
They
like
probably sold the rights in the early 1900s when Levi Strauss was taking it. Levi Strauss was not in America at that point. so they probably bought all the rights to it. Let's see. The U.S. President, George Washington, took her to her grave. Did I know this fact when I started doing these tours? I did not. I got George Washington as an EVP twice in 1 week, and went, there's got to be a connection. I am always learning something new about the Pinckney family. So sometimes Thomas the Son comes through with his Battle of Camden in the early 1800s, and he was also an ambassador, diplomat for the British. So a lot of things come up with these kids. Why I don't bring up the tragedy? That's annoying. Why I say don't bring up the kids any further? There was a tragedy with an infant that did not make it. I don't know if it was a few days or a few weeks old because the birth and death months are the same. So I don't know how long that child lived. But we do know that the child was named George after his mom.
I asked it if it liked all the attention, and it said no.
I don't even bother. If she wants to bring it up, let her bring it up.
Do you want us to leave?
Before too. Because she will say something about her baby, and the name George will pop up without the Washington, and I kind of have to poke a little bit just to see who she's talking about. So it kind of makes that work. We are going to go up about 4 blocks. Okay. Again, I'm taking you to legitimately haunted locations.
How soon do you want us
Your EMF meter, Tara, is going to go off. Pay no attention to it. Parking meters are going to make it go off. Our electrical lines for the meters are under the sidewalks. So it's strong enough to make it go nuts. Please pay attention to your, obviously your word list. If you're going to listen to your spirit box, we're listening for names for the next location.
What's your name?
I won't tell you which names or why, but that's what we're listening for, and I'll give you all those reasons when we get there. Lasers. Absolutely no lasers on East Bay Street. So your lasers will be off until I can get you to a point where we can safely use them again. However, your picture taking, before we walk down Lodge Alley, you're going to take a few very still shots.
Tell us good night.
Help me lead the way until we get there. Because we want to get some weird anomalies.
Be a good boy.
They already know what to do with their equipment. Are you guys questions, comments, concerns? You guys having fun, hopefully? Yes? Yeah. All right, learning some stuff. I'm a history teacher tonight. Let's do this. All right, we're moving on. Uh-oh, we switching things up?
I just walked away for a minute. It didn't like us being there.
I swear I thought it said gate when I said should we go over to the gate.
Oh no, like I said, like last time we picked up a couple things at the gate when me and her walked away.
Let's let them pass by.
Yeah.
We're gonna let you guys pass by.
Thanks.
We're a large group, sorry.
No, you're good.
No lasers on the street. I have to be the school teacher every once in a while.
I actually
Oh, look at you, showing me up.
You said this is good?
I was a history teacher.
So how am I doing?
But so far, I don't know really anything about girls in history, so I'm going to say yeah, they will. But then I decided I don't like it.
Yeah.
6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Yeah, it was horrible. I taught 6th grade math, 7th grade algebra, or pre-algebra, 8th grade algebra, and ancient history.
What do you do now?
My degree was ancient history. I actually write jumbo loans, so multi-million-dollar loans for like apartment buildings and stuff like that.
Hey man, there's your hotel hookup.
I know, right? I need to make friends with you.
Yeah. Yeah, those are actually the kind of loans that I write.
Let me know when you need my business plan. It's ready.
Oh, baby came through.
Oh, maybe?
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
The jumbo loans, oh baby.
Jumbo loans, yeah. Yeah, you need $2 million? I can write you.
Meh. Oh, come on, too. So how you like doing this with your dad?
It's really fun. I like it.
Yeah,
I don't get to go on every tour
Right.
because my grades are pretty low right now.
Well, kind of hard right now with everything, the way things are going. I couldn't do it.
Only in one class.
Oh, well, that's simple enough then. At least you know what you got to focus on. That's not on multiple.
Yeah.
I mean, with money.
You get to go on any other ghost hunts with him?
whole COVID thing.
Right.
Last year, for my birthday, I got to bring a friend down with me, and we went to the old jail. Like,
Oh, nice. Okay.
like not the board, but just around it.
Yeah.
And my friend was passed out, and my stepmom was passed out. So,
Last time I did it, I got like extremely sick
yeah.
inside of the old jail. I actually had to leave the tour. It was bad. And I've been around quite a few different ghosts and spirits and stuff like that. And that was the first time that's ever happened. First and last.
I don't know if it's still the plan, but we should be going back there tonight.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I like that area. The graveyard, the old jail. Cool, man. We're able to set anything up at the old fire station I was at. I had to had to bring you along because we had a lot of activity there when we were working. So. You said ancient history, right? Nice. Yo, let's talk. I got some ancient shit.
Tell her about it. After what time? You gotta go after.
Well, yeah, I'm going to.
I want to talk to her.
You want to jumbo along? And then we'll just disappear. Not extradition countries.
Right, it's not scientific. Right, I get it.
All right, where's Darrielle? I need you. Oh, we're gonna wait for the.
This is where, possibility.
See, I don't see that from Magnolias.
I don't either.
Conden's the yes, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Not Magnolias there. I got William 3 times.
So we're gonna need your.
Oh, really?
William 3 times, yeah. Walking over here.
What's that?
They said William 3 times.
Really? I'm sure there's at least one William.
I know, it's so common.
Yeah. But hey, it's like getting John. There's 4 different Johns.
Yeah.
All right. So what you want to do here is you want to be very still. Just grab me 2 or 3.
So you said you studied ancient history?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I know, right?
Did you specialize in anything in particular side of it? Or?
No, it was the whole broad spectrum. It was anything all the way up to 6680. So,
Nice, okay.
Yeah. So like 5000 BC all the way.
Right.
So total ancient history.
Monday's still with us?
Yeah.
Quiet.
I'm a huge fan of ancient North American history
Remarks or anything.
and paleo and all that.
Yeah. My father-in-law is really into that, and so he and I always get into grand discussions, and my mother-in-law and my husband just kind of sit there. He does he's really into it because he lives in Colorado and by Utah, and the artifacts that they find going camping is amazing. They
Yeah.
found an Indian site that had never been marked.
Oh, really?
They
That's
came
awesome.
upon it. It still had like a mid in there. It still had where they had cooked underground.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome.
Yeah. Like back at home, I can tell you what they.
So this is considered a quiet area, so we're going to keep those spirit boxes off. We're going to turn the volumes all the way down. Perfect. All right, so we're going to be brief here because it is a quiet area, but for some of you that are just traveling through, you need to see some cobblestones and you need to know where you're at. here, that'd be Myrtle Beach. That's a big legend up in Myrtle. Dallas flag. What's that? Yep. So, let's see. So again, that's an interesting point. I normally get the names Benjamin and John. It's significant because there were 4 different Johns that lived here, but Benjamin and John were 2 out of the 5 people that lived here in 1801. I find that pretty significant when I get that commonly. So when I hear Benjamin and John together, it's not coincidence. So the Masons also used to be down here, which is also an interesting point. These buildings were never here. This is Black Valley Inn. It is a hotel. Every hotel downtown has some kind of claim that it goes to something. They don't give me free rooms to verify, so now I got to start paying more podcast. So stay tuned. I do have some confirmation on this one. I just need to get the right room. So hopefully that'll be this summer. London will be with me, of course, so you guys will hopefully listen to that podcast later on. So we're going to walk through the rest of this alley. We're going to still keep those lasers at standstill for a little while. Just hang on to them for me. We're going to try to get some pictures coming the opposite way. So just like you're the first one in, you're going to be the last one out. So we're going to go across the street and cut through the neighborhood. So your spirit boxes, kind of keep them to a minimum. Like you sleep in, or down, people live. So we're going to kind of keep it down that way. Tyler knows exactly what he's doing with that FLIR, by the way. He actually is a fireman. And I did not know. It's one of the reasons why I gave him that. So I forgot that he was a fireman. And I went, oh, crap, it's a good thing I gave it to you. You know exactly what you're doing. So we're going to cut through that neighborhood and get to the next legends and lore part of this tour. So that way some of you that live here, you will probably have heard these stories probably many, many times. But hopefully we'll be able to gain some evidence along the way to prove their legitimacy. And then we're going to do one final last investigation like we did at the Pinckney Mansion site near the Powder Magazine, and we're going to be talking about some pirates. So again, I'd just like to kind of give you the gist of how the rest of the tour is going to go. This part is new for you guys because we're not going to Philadelphia Alley anymore because we're not allowed. But we're going to head up this way.
Our very dinner time is usually like 7 o'clock.
Oh, you mean?
Alright, so London warned me that last time I was down here, I stepped in the dog crap several times, and she didn't bother to tell me. Good job, London. Hey, watch your feet. Yeah. So, everybody kind of take note of the wall behind you. There's a doorway. Can you see the doorway? That alley that you just passed up, that doorway is where the loser of the duel would go in the event that somebody died. From across the courtyard over to the graveyard, they would drop the body, and they would actually go celebrate.
We keep getting guard and court guard.
Interesting. That's cool. So, that's the alley that we're. You notice it was pretty empty. A lot down there. It was part of the tour before, so I had to reroute us up there. So, everybody kind of tells the same story at the same culture. We'll take you up there just to kind of so you know what it is. There's a sign in the graveyard that says there's no ghost here for the holy ghost. The reason for that is there's an 1888 born son of St. John's. Sorry. I'm just calling you out. Giving you a hard time. So, 1888, a young lady died by the name of Sue Howard, 10 days after her stillborn child. Now, 1987, a local photographer, he's taking pictures, and for cemeteries, and he gets a population of women wearing a shawl and a baby back. Pictures cursed, that's why I don't show it to you. So, he sends it off to Kodak because we don't have cell phones, we don't have, Photoshop and all that mess. He's got to try to get it debunked. So, Kodak cannot debunk the picture. Take it forward. Her name is Sue Howard. If you want to look it up on your own, I'm not going to curse my tours. There's a lot of females here. You guys will start to feel the same things. They're holding the pictures that I told you about, like stage shows. The headache, the queasiness, the nauseous, that kind of thing. So I don't show the picture. Amazing picture for guys like me, but I'm not cursing. So, Sue Howard Hardy. He said, yep, I got it. You got it on recording too, buddy. So, there's two sides of the cemetery. We're on the east side.
And the actual dog is like right here.
So we have the east side and the west side. The east side is for native Charlestonians only. If you don't know, Calvin is on the other side because he's not from here. He's moved over Church Street several times. So his sarcophagus is above ground, so you can actually go visit during the daytime. It's an interesting little tidbit that you would think Calvin as much as we pride ourselves on him, even though we just have a memorial down. But he is not a native. So, right past the cemetery, everybody see the burning gas lamp off in the distance? Kind of get that right past the cemetery. So that is what we call the pirate house. Somebody lives there. We got anchor on the front. You can't miss it. So pirate house is where blackbirds can come off their ships and they would go to the ski girls and the girls have a place to sleep. They also have a tunnel from the pirate house underneath the ground 1 block away over to Dock Street Pier to go catch a ship. So London actually learned a little tidbit in theater class that they would actually work at theaters as well because they're very good at tying knots, sandbags, curtains, things like that. So how interesting is that? I didn't know that. See? You gotta learn something. We're getting scared to death. Werewolves are out, according to London. So, I tie all of those buildings together because there is a story about Nettie Dickerson that worked here at the church. Now, Dr. Pier used to be a hotel called Planters. Planters had prostitution, and that's where all the gentlemen would come and have a good time and few drinks and a place to stay. Nettie Dickerson was past the marrying age of 17. Nobody wanted her. She was an old maid at 23 years old. She sees her going on down there, and she decides that she's going to buy a red dress and go down there and get herself a job. She's the best loved girl in the whole place. She's still not happy. So she's go out to the balcony and think about coming back to the church. When she sees,
this is what St. Philip's has to say.
It's going to be kind of, that's okay. So, priest goes down there, puts his finger out there on the balcony, and he wants her to come back too. So, storm rolls in, lightning strikes the wrought iron banister, same one you guys are going to know, and strikes her. Now, it's a very short, abrupt story, but you can see her ghost from the knees up only. Why is that? Because when we renovated Dr. Theater in the early 2000s, we raised the first floor ceiling. I mean, she's walking on the floor that she knows. So it's not that we have a short ghost, but not having the dress. Take that for what it's worth. Again, it took a nerd like me to figure that out, the construction of the building and why have a short ghost with no dress. And that is another weird thing too, because of the dress. When you think of a ghost or an apparition, you usually think something wispy and white. Most people say it's color. already dead. She was obviously dead by the sea, according to Edgar. And that is the story there. I do have a tour guide friend who takes people up to the Unitarian Church to tell the same tale, and he has, well, that's where his people start to pass out, feel dizzy, and get a little nauseous. So take that for what it's worth. The Unitarian Church, nor the Edgar Allan Poe Museum in Virginia will confirm that the Annabelle Lee story is a true story. Of course, they're not going to. Of course, I had to try. So take that for what it's worth. We do have emails to prove it. So that is the legends and lore part. Let's go actually do an investigation and talk about some pirates. Questions about the weird little stuff? Did you guys hear those stories before? You were nodding your head a lot. So you've never heard those? Really?
They make really good burgers at Post Tavern.
Yes.
Big facts.
They are phenomenal. Never been to Post Tavern? I still need to go to the Poe Public Library. There's a Poe Library down there too. That would be awesome. But I'm surprised that you guys haven't heard those tales. Those are pretty common, especially Dock Street Theater. Dock Street Theater has, you know what's weird? We're about to talk about pirates. I learned this little tidbit last week on the podcast. So, Nicholas Trott, the Chief Justice that hung Steve Bonnet's pirates, he actually, his land was where Dock Street Theater sits right now. That's where he originally lived. The misnomer is that he used to live on the other side of the powder mill. But he didn't. He lived there, he rented there while this place was being, constructed or whatever. But he moved over where Dock Street Theater was, then it became Planters Hotel, then Dock Street Theater, so forth and so on. But yeah, very interesting tidbit there. And a lot of his construction is still in the courtyard. So apparently he had like a private privy back there, and part of that is where the elevator is now. So take that next time you're in the elevator, that's where Nicholas Trott used to take us up. So, have a good time in there. So let's go talk about some pirates, guys. Will stay contained and not destroy the walls or any other buildings around it. So that is why it's in the location that it is. It is the oldest government building we have on the East Coast. So the reason why I talk about pirates here, and a specific pirate, is because it's the same time period that this building was being built. Because it's the oldest building we have. So there was a young lady, I'm talking about a female pirate. So if you've already heard this story, sorry, but it's very interesting. I had to learn all about this. So she's Irish. Her father moved her here because she's an illegitimate child from the father's name. Okay, so he needs to get away from the life. He brings his daughter and mistress to Charleston, of all places. So he comes here, and it's about 1709, and there's a lot of holes in the story, so hopefully we can fill them in with this. So they come here, she starts to grow up, the building's being built, that's why there's the attachment. Now, those pirates coming through, she becomes a teenager. She falls in love with one of them. His name is James Bonnet. Her father doesn't want her to get married. She runs away and gets married to James Bonnet down in Jamaica. She's 16, 17 years old. So James Bonnet did not turn out to be the husband she wanted him to be. She falls in love with another pirate, Calico Jack. Very handsome, young, up-and-coming pirate. He goes on the ship. She wants to be part of it. Calico Jack tries to buy off the dowry James Bonnet paid off to Anne Bonnet's father. She doesn't want to do it. So she just
Good evening. How are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good.
So, with that being said, that's why I stopped here. I usually have a raincoat. It stays in the car because I have people that still want to go hunting in the rain. So where was I? So Calico Jack is up and coming. She needs to be part of that ship, but she can't be because she's a female. So what she did, she dresses like a man so she can become part of the crew. Not a very smart thing to do. She have the tours. But she eventually gets pregnant. So what's Calico Jack do? Dumps her off in Cuba with some friends so she doesn't get revealed that she's a female. She has the baby. We have no idea what happened to the baby. She returns to the ship as a female. Now, during the time that she was gone, during her pregnancy, Calico Jack's crew captured another ship. There are prisoners down below deck. She goes downstairs. She sees a very handsome young prisoner. She starts to flirt with this young man. Turns out that young man was a female, doing the exact same thing that she was doing to join Calico Jack's crew. So the two become friends. You now have Anne Bonny and Mary Reed. Whenever you tie Anne Bonny into Google, you also get Mary Reed. Now, Anne Bonny and Mary Reed were the only non-drunks out of the whole crew. They did convince Mary Reed to join the crew, even though she was a prisoner. So the drunks are all downstairs, keep an eye on the prisoners, and they get attacked by a British ship. Obviously, the ship gets taken over. Those two females are not going to take on a whole British fleet. So what happens is all the drunken pirates get tried and hung very quickly by Chief Justice Nicholas Laws, and then it's Anne Bonny and Mary Reed's turn to be tried, and the judge does not know that they are females. They reveal themselves to be female, and then they did what they call plead their bellies, which means they both claimed that they were pregnant. So that way their hanging would be delayed, and so it was. Now, we got Anne Bonny's father, Sir Charleston, who has lots of attorney money that he had over from Ireland. He was able to bail her out. She lived a long, happy life, allegedly here in Charleston, because of the rumors that she went out to Virginia. Don't know for sure. But she lived to be the age of 84. Don't know how we got the age of 84 either. So, interesting facts about this. But Mary Reed died in prison from whatever disease pirates get in prison in Jamaica. So you can only imagine what those things are. So you guys are here to ask whatever questions you like. I think I have you far enough trained where you can ask very provocative questions if you like. Try to get whatever answers you can for me. I'm trying to fill in the holes. This is a big one. So we're going to spend about 10 minutes here. I know we're over time, and I don't really care. We're having fun. We're going to learn more about pirates, and we're going to see what we can come up with here. We are going to stay out of that other tour's way. I don't know where he went off to. But
They cut through the gate and hooked to the left, I think.
Perfect. So he went up to the front of the building. So I also want you to take note that we are after the building with the crosses on it. Those are earthquake bolts. You're not sure what those are? That earthquake I told you about here in the house in Charleston? We put earthquake bolts in all of our buildings. That was the first set of earthquake bolts that we did. The whole gist of that is if a building gets quaked, you can tighten up the bolts and the building will go back up. That's the whole point. You notice that the apartment building behind it also has earthquake bolts. So they're square, they blend in a little bit better. They're not as fancy as the ones on the powder mountains. So let's go check out this building and let's see what we can capture.
Don't worry, you're under it anyway. You're too short.
That's the bolts.
It's the bolts.
Yeah,
Oh, those are the bolts.
So like whenever you go like back down to Main Street, if you see the stars on the side of the building, that's also indicators. They just do the stars as a pretty little decoration over it.
So they just did crosses instead
Mm-hmm.
to make it look nice. Okay.
Well, they probably made them bigger because of the way that the roof is laid out. Like there's sand in there. So they probably wanted a bigger support on the side to make sure like the bolts weren't going to go all the way through. So if they ended up using them, the bars are going to bend out to try to go in a little bit. So they probably made them bigger for bigger support.
Right. Okay.
Now that's a guesstimate. I haven't studied architecture like I should have.
Yeah, and you can tell this had something on the outside of
Yeah,
it.
so normally whenever you start seeing the bolts like that or the stars, is an indication there's been some kind of structural damage throughout its history.
Yeah.
So kind of like what you would do with your house, like if it starts washing out and settling and raising it back up and tightening everything back. So think of it like that, but just on the side of the building.
You see if Anne's here?
Ahoy, mate!
It was Margaret Reed, right?
This is who's here.
I thought he was Mary Reed.
Just ask who's here. That way we're not specifying one person.
Well, that's true. Who's here with us?
Heather?
Mary or Heather?
Who's here with us tonight? Mary? Mary?
What's your name?
Start.
Let's go get some rum.
What is your profession? Who's here with us right now?
Those are our people walking. Sorry, I was just saying it for the camera because they're coming in super fuzzy and kind of cutting in and out.
What's your name? Who's here? Anne, are you here with us? Can you say hello?
What's your profession?
Pirates are crooks.
Dirty scoundrels.
No one likes rum. Lies.
How large is your ship?
How old are you? Is there a man or a woman with us?
They should have strung you up from the gallows.
Brutal.
Yeah, I heard brutal.
Yeah, you got away with it. How do you feel about that? Are you a prostitute?
All right, Tyler, are you gonna incite?
Job.
Job.
Is it just prostitution's just the job?
How much did you pay for the horse?
What color was your dress?
Over here.
Who's here with us?
Did your daddy bail you out?
I think Eliza was a spoiled brat. Not me.
Not me.
How do you figure you're not a spoiled brat?
Daddy bailed you out. You got everything you wanted.
I bet you weren't even a good help on the ship.
Hold on. Eliza was the other place. Anne was the one that got bailed out.
Anne, are you with us?
No, but I think Eliza is.
Tell me your name.
Who is this? Who's with us? Eliza, are you here with us? Who's here? And we were sitting over there on the, I was getting nauseous. No, I felt like something kept touching me.
I was getting nauseous.
Oh, you're getting nauseous?
Oh yeah. Until
Oh, fuck it, man, let's go back across the street.
I like literally moved away from you.
Is that why you did that?
Yeah, because I felt like something
Yeah, let's get to the gate.
moving, like something kept like...
Well, unless y'all don't want to, if it was getting that
I
bad.
was fine when I came in here.
I say we can go to the gate and see if we can get it to come to the gate to us.
I was throwing PVCs like crazy.
What about what thing?
Yeah, that's funny because you and I both did something over there. Yeah, no, I was, that's why I took a drink out of my... Okay. Alright.
Does anyone want to come talk to us?
Who's here?
Bonnie?
That was me? Or no, it's me.
Who's me?
What's your name? Where are you? Where are you? Anne, is that you?
What was your job aboard ship?
Is that greedy?
Who's greedy?
Do you live here? Are you... Try not to say yes and no yet.
Where are you at?
Are you buried here? Do I have Anne here or Eliza? Who is it? It sounded like it said Eliza.
Eliza, is this you? What'd you do aboard the ship?
Liza wasn't on the ship.
Okay, whoever was on the ship. She can tell me she ain't on it.
Tell me your name. How old are you? How many are here with us? Can you say hello? Who was touching me? Someone was touching me by the gate. Who was it?
Death Street. Did you say Death Street?
What are you laughing at?
Can you say our name?
Mate.
Mate?
Mate?
That's a pirate thing. Hello, mate. Can you tell us your name? Why are you still here?
Are you that weak you can't even speak to us?
I'm dead. This is weird.
Alright. We get anything?
Did you hear that?
Yes.
I am dead,
Yeah.
which is weird. Yes.
No, yeah.
What did it say?
We just just got
I said, why are you still here? It said, I am dead, and then something, which is weird.
Which is weird. We're like,
what? And hopefully that audio caught it. Awesome. So you guys are going to really have to pay attention.
Which
to
is
the
weird.
Clear. So, it just seems like where all of the activities coming from. All right. I'm going to start collecting devices.
Yes.
And you guys can ask me a
That was
million
weird.
questions.
I gave me
Linda's
goosebumps
obviously got
actually
cards. You
when
guys
I
can check out the website
played.
ahead of time. And we will kind of
Pussy.
take it from there. What
Tyler,
questions
stop
do
it.
you have?
Why are you such a little bitch? You can't even talk to us.
That's a weird one, right?
Wait, what that thing?
How do we get to see the recordings?
So tomorrow morning.
Do you want to talk now? Last chance.
Sorry.
oh, are you handing us stuff?
Yes.
It's your last chance. Do you want to speak?
Did you just put the camera on there? It looked like it was the bomb.
Are you still here with us?
Okay, we go through it in the car.
Oh, all right.
We start shutting everything off, making sure everything's emailed and all that stuff. That we need to do. So again, that's kind of how I'm usually done by noon, but it's probably going to be closer to 1 o'clock, just based on what I'm.
Would you like it?
at.
All right, all right.